In a world where fairways meet the airwaves, where birdies and banker collide, welcome to the show that takes you beyond the clubhouse and onto the green. This is Balls and Tees, your passport to the golfing universe, where every swing tells a story and every putt has its punchline. Get ready to step onto the lush greens and dive into the world of divots, drives, and delightful banter.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Balls and Tees once again. We have the big man today, Dietrich. How are you?
I'm very well, Sipo. Thanks for having me on. It's a pleasure to be here.
Hi, Dietrich. I know that you've just assumed the position of CEO for PGA. Can you please tell us a bit more about it and yourself with the PGA?
Sure. Maybe I'll start with the PGA because that's a little bit closer to my heart. The PGA is a non-profit organization, and we essentially look after the professionals that work within the golf industry. So many of our members, we've got about 720 full active members with the association, and many of them work in all sectors of the industry, either being mainly coaching, coaching people to play golf, management, so either managers or golf directors at golf clubs that manage these things. And then there's also a bunch of other sort of areas that the guys go into and ladies go into. So they either do rules or there's travel. A lot of them do social media. So it's a vast different sort of job description that our members has. And we're also a non-gender association. So male and female, we look after both of those. And our members are very successful at what they do. And then maybe turning to me, I'm 45 years old. I come from a little town, used to be a town, but it's a kind of a city now in Joburg called Kempton Park, and it's probably more commonly known for Ernie Els, which is one of our true golfers, legends of the game on the tour, and he's also an honorary member of the PGA of South Africa. So I come from there. I joined the PGA slightly different to quite a lot of people. A lot of people either had a great amateur career and they moved into sort of the teaching area and joined the PGA. But there's also professional golfers that played on tour that joined the program a little later to be able to move into the industry and then work with people to enjoy the game of golf. I started. My dad worked at a stainless steel company, and he just made golf clubs out of steel rods and flat bar for me. And I had ping pong balls in the back garden that I just used to hit so I don't break any windows of the house. And from there on in, my mom saw a program that I did, which was a provider of education of the PGA. I started there, did my 3-year course through them, went through the practical stuff, and then I was able to qualify. So I've been a member of the PGA now for 20 odd years, and I'm a class, what they would call a class advanced fellow PGA member, which just starts at class A and then goes AA, AAA, fellow, advanced fellow, and then it goes to your master professional, which is the most recognized one that we have. So that's a little bit about me.
Wow, yeah, you seem that you've been there with the PGO, in the golfing fraternity. But I mean, golf is evolving faster than ever.
Yes.
So if you are not paying attention, you might get left behind.
Yes.
So what's that PGA is doing right now that every golfer, fan, industry players needs to know?
Well, we work with quite a lot of stakeholders within South Africa. There's a vast sort of a packet of our stakeholders in South Africa that we work with to, from the Sunshine Tour to the Club Managers Association to Golf RSA, which looks after the amateur body. So our members work with pretty much all of those in terms of what they do for them. So a lot of our members coach professional golfers so that they play better on tour. A lot of our people, our members coach amateur golfers. And what we really do in terms of the PGA is we are there to grow the game of golf through our members. And, it's a funny thing how these things work, is that if you play better golf, you're going to play more golf, you're going to enjoy your golf more. And the idea behind that is that our members do that and then grow the game of golf, where those beginners that join into sort of the golfing fraternity then join a golf club and then make the golf community a lot stronger. So that's pretty much what our members do and what we do from our side. But we work also globally with what we call the PGA World Alliance, which is the PGA of America, Great Britain and Ireland, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, just to name a few. But yeah, as you say, I mean, since COVID, golf has just boomed, and it changes every single day, from launch monitors to technology. It's just incredibly how fast it's moving at this point. And our members are at the forefront of that.
Yeah, I mean, you're speaking more about the changes in golf, you know. I mean, we can clearly see all these big changes coming to the game, the new formats, new stars, new ways of how people can play. Can you give us an insight or scope on what's next for the golf in your view?
Yeah, look, we're not so close in terms of what happens on the professional tours. So if I can give you a little bit of a step a little bit back, you know, there's two sort of sections. You have what we call the tour player section, which used to be part of the PGA, and then in the mid 80s, the two bodies split. So you had what they call the tour player division, and then you had the club pro division, which is two different sections. The tour player division is now known as the Sunshine Tour, and the Sunshine Tour looks after the professional golfers and what they do within their area. Our aim on the other side, from a club pro perspective, is we look after the game at golf clubs and golf facilities and grow the game through that. So through kind of amateur golfers and through the professionals. But if you're talking about sort of more the live and the PGA Tour sort of roles and what's currently happening there, I think it's an interesting time for golf. You know, golf is in a space where at least people are talking about the sport, and we love that, because that's the way it should be. But I think at the end of the day, the right thing will happen, because people want to see the best players play together. So I can't give you the end game, because I absolutely do not know what the end game is. We look after our members and what they do with industry within South Africa to grow the game of golf. And we hope that they sort that out from a professional golf perspective at the top level.
No, fantastic. I mean, you know, some says equipment is making the game too easy. Others says it's helping to grow the sport. Where do you stand on this debate? And could we see any rule changes around clubs, golf balls in the future?
Yeah, I think currently there's not too much talk about changing rules and that. There is talk to roll back the ball a little bit, but that's just in the beginning stages, and we're not sure where that's going to go. But I think if you talk about equipment, I mean, as you said earlier on, it's moving fast, and equipment's there essentially to try and make the game of golf easier for people. And I think they've done it essentially over the past 10, 15 years. They've done it, and we've seen a lot of people get into golf. It is unfortunately an expensive hobby to start playing, but as soon as you have the equipment lasts you a lifetime. So, you know, equipment is changing, but it's there to make you play golf better and make it easier for you. So I don't think there's any rule changes really on the horizon very soon, apart from just maybe the rollback of the golf ball.
I mean, you know, you spoke a little bit more about the PGA, but, you know, a lot of people don't really realize just how much the PGA is doing to shape the future of sports, particularly maybe, let's say, in South Africa. So what's one thing that is happening behind the scene that is going to change the golf as we know it from the PGA's perspective?
Yeah, if I tell you, I might have to kill you, Sipo. It's unfortunately a state secret. No,
Okay.
I mean, as I said earlier on, it's there's no secrets to it. I mean, we as the PGA, we just offer our members an education. So we do continued education with our members, so they stay up to date with the latest and greatest teaching techniques. You know, from a fitness perspective, how people have to look after their bodies to be able to play golf, nutrition, and then also, you know, from a business perspective, we give our members the tools to be able to run golf clubs successfully. You know, there's fortunately and unfortunately, I think golf clubs have got a committee sometimes in place, but the experts within those industries is the club managers and the golf directors, the retail guys on the floor that are at the forefront, and they're there every single day. And I think, you know, the changes might come at some stage where it would be better to just work together better from a committee's perspective with the management at golf clubs to make it successful. And that's what our members does. I mean, our members are trained within those areas and they are experts within those areas. And we look forward to expanding that within the golfing market so that our members show what they can do in terms of, you know, running facilities, retail facilities, etc., etc.
I mean, you look at what you speak about mostly of the work that the PGA is doing, and I mean,
Yes.
as we look at the play today of golf, is changing. You know, players are driving longer. They are playing smarter. They are training as athletes as well.
Correct.
So how has that strategy changed in the last decade? And then what's next for modern golfers? Because you're looking at the training side of it, but to train these professionals, putting together the whole logistics or value chain of golf.
Yeah, I mean, as you rightfully said there, Sipo, I mean, people, specifically golfers, and if you look at tour level golfers, and I think at any sport, I think everything, all of those people are just becoming stronger, they're becoming taller, you know, they just swinging the club faster. So, you know, I think as good as that is, you know, I'm a bit of a traditionalist, so I enjoy the, you know, the long hitting is nice to look at sometimes, but I enjoy people actually playing the golf course from a strategic perspective. I don't think you're going to stop that in terms of people hitting the ball further, but there is going to be a limit at some point. You know, you can only hit the ball so far. So, you know, in terms of that sort of thing from a fitness perspective, technology perspective, you know, I think it's just going to continue going. But I think it's going to be to the good of the game because it's got to keep the game interesting for people.
I mean, you know, Dietrich, you see people playing now. We have a lot of more indoor golf. We have the traditional outdoor golf. But
Yes.
you know, if someone isn't really following golf closely right now, what's the one major shift that they're going to regret missing out in the next few years?
I mean, you can see it happening in America, Sipo, right? It's, you know, with the start of this TGL movement, which they have the indoor facility with teams playing against each other. And as you rightfully say, I mean, indoor golf is becoming one of the most popular pastimes for golfers globally. So, you know, from recent studies that's done globally, what they call off-course golfers. So these are either people doing, you know, playing on a simulator, doing putt-putt, just hitting balls on a driving range, that's not physically playing on a golf course. That number is actually exceeding the number of players that's playing on a golf course. So
Wow.
You can see there's huge demand for golf, but I think from a time perspective, a lot of people are choosing shorter versions of golf and also potentially less intimidating versions of golf to be able to get into golf. But for us, I mean, to be honest with you, anybody that plays any version of golf for us is amazing. You know, yeah, it's good. It's good for everybody. So, you know, we would love them to join a golf club and join the community of golf. But, you know, if they not as confident yet, I think they must make a time, go down to their local PJ professional and just go and maybe spend some time with them so that they can show them that it's not as intimidating as they think it is.
Okay, Dietrich, now I would like to put you on the spot, right? What's what's one golf rule that you think, or maybe have heard players secretly wish that it will disappear, but probably it will never disappear?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you are putting me on the spot because I've got to be pretty diplomatic about this, Sipho. But I've always thought, you know, and it's something that I believe in from my side, you know. But we also custodians of what happens. But ultimately, we're trying to make the game easier for people. So for me, the one rule that really doesn't make sense, and it's a bit tongue in cheek for me, but it's the you know, the ball in the divot rule. You know, that if you hit the ball in the middle of the fairway and you land in the divot, that you're not allowed to drop out of that divot. So for me, it's not necessarily, I understand that the rules of golf, you know, from the RNA is, you know, you play the ball as you find it. Yeah, and as it lies, 100%. But if you're looking to grow the game of golf, you know, if somebody is a 24 handicapper and they've hit their best drive in 5 rounds and they hit it for the first time in a fairway and they get there and it's in a divot, yeah, I just worry that it might demotivate that person. But that's my opinion. You know, I don't make those rules. So that is one that I could potentially look at. But yeah.
No, nice one. I mean, so golf is growing in new markets, you know, Asia, the rest of Africa, especially urban environments as well. Where do you see the biggest opportunities for the game in the next decades?
Yeah, you say markets. I mean, there's obviously geographical markets that it moves into, but we very passionate about. I mean, we've got the rights of the PGA within Africa, so we do a lot of work through the RNA and through our members, where we move into Africa and we do what they call the African High Performance Project, which is moving into Africa through our members, and they grow the game with some of the players within Kenya and Zimbabwe, etc., etc. But those are geographical areas. But what we also quite passionate about is just our membership base. So I said to you earlier on, we a non-gender membership base, and you know, our ladies golf within South Africa is also a big market. So I see a lot of that happening, and also, you know, gender and race. We also see quite a lot of Black, Indian, and colored people moving into the space of golf, which is just amazing. I mean, wherever we can grow the game of golf, we're happy to do it. But yeah, so from a geographical perspective, I think Africa is a big one. But also from a demographical perspective, I think the ladies, colored Indian men, that sort of markets are growing definitely.
I mean, just to put you on this, maybe just before we take a little bit of break.
Yes.
So with all these changes that we're discussing and happening around, the sports broadcasting is also changing. For example, what we have right now in comparison to the traditional broadcasting.
Yes.
How does the PGA plan to keep golf exciting, educational to the next generations of fans, whether people hearing it on digital media, people being able to see it on social media, and all of those environments?
No, look, we don't really have a big presence within the TV space. I think that's more Sunshine Tour space. They obviously run tournaments. We really haven't explored many things. We obviously do social media, which we try and promote our members, but we are going to do a little bit more, these sort of platforms that you guys do, Sipho, from a podcasting perspective. We know how powerful these things are, and it also tells people a little bit more about the background of what the PGA is, how they play their role within the industry. But yeah, I mean, I think YouTube, social media, podcasting, that sort of thing, I think is going to be important. We see how big YouTube has become from a golfing perspective, and we hope we can contribute. Yeah, but as I said to you earlier on, I've got a face for radio, so maybe it might not be me.
No, not a problem. Dietrich, can you just take maybe 2 minutes break so that we
Sure.
can grab some water?
Perfect.
Okay, thank you.
Invisible Ink Consulting, your gateway to financial success. We specialise in providing the best solutions to manage your finance and accounting, ensuring a better life for you and your business. Our expert team offers top-notch accounting and tax consulting services tailored to various industries, including but not limited to engineering, medical practitioners, in construction, non-profits, events management, attorneys and financial services. Experience the power of our best analytics, backed by a commitment to our clients and a high level of knowledge. At Invisible Ink Consulting, we strive to deliver the best service you can get, making your financial journey seamless and rewarding. Choose Invisible Ink Consulting for a brighter financial future. Your success our priority. Please visit us at www.invisibleinc.co.za to reach us. www.invisibleinc.co.za.
Welcome back again for the lovers of golf. We're here talking with Dietrich, the new CEO of PGA, talking about golf, realizing and learning a little bit more about the PGA today. Dietrich, I mean, I see you've got a Titleist bag behind you. You really seem to be someone who has a relationship with the Titleist. Do you?
Well, the PGA has a relationship with Titleist and what we call a Cushnet, which is
Okay.
Titleist FootJoy, and they're the patron of our Pathway to Membership program. And what that is there's sort of two ways to get into the PGA as a member and to study the PGA program. So you can either do, as I said, two pathways. The one is what we call an associate pathway. And the associate pathway is you have to find a job within the industry. You've got to have a handicap less than 4. You have to go through some sort of safeguarding process, which just allows us to make sure that you don't have a criminal record, the normal safety things. And then you are able to join the PGA as an associate. So you do that as a full-time employee at a club. And then on a yearly basis, they go to a residential where they then study for the week, and then they go back to the workplace and they work within the industry. Now, the other pathway is what we call a provider pathway, which is what I did. We have 7 providers throughout the country that give our education, and then there's students that join those providers. They stay amateurs, so they can play, but they study full-time. They don't work within the industry. So they do their studies for the 3 years, and then after that, they would then join the PGA as a member, and then they would start their process. They do 1,000 hours at a golf club, and then they would either do a teaching ability test and a playing ability test, and then they would become a member. So sorry, I diverted a little bit there, but yeah, Titleist is our patron of that program. Which allows us to do the good work we do. So we're very thankful for their support in that.
I mean, you sound like someone who's very busy. How often do you play golf?
Sipho, I think you play more golf than what I do. I mean, I come from a management background. So I for the last 18 or 20 years, I've worked either in a golf club. So I started as a person that just cleaned golf carts, that sort of thing, and then I worked myself up into the retail space at a golf club, then into golf directorship, and then into a general manager position, which I had just before I came to the PGA. So my background is management. So yes, I've been busy, but if you love what you do, you don't get busy, eh? I mean, it's we're passionate about what we do. So from a playing perspective, if I play twice a month, that's maybe a lot. So a lot of people think we work within the industry and we out on the golf course every day because our head office is here at Royal Johannesburg, which is a lovely facility. They think we go out there and play golf every single day at lunch hour, play 9 holes, but it's totally the opposite. There's so much to do. And if we get the chance, we love it, but we unfortunately don't get the chance too often to do that.
No, thank you. I mean, there's a saying, you also have a classroom, right? And then there's a say that we'll hear as amateurs when you get the lessons where people are saying that golf it's a mental game.
Yes.
So what's one of aspect player development is that going to separate future champions to the rest based on the mental of the game?
Yeah, I mean, the mental side of the game has also taken a huge leap forward as much as the technology side has done. So there's lots of very good psychologists that work with players out there, and it's a huge part of golf because, I mean, I've always said I played many sports within my life, which is mainly, a lot of sports involve moving balls. So it's either rugby that the ball moves, or cricket that the ball comes to you, or tennis that the ball moves. But golf is such a psychological sport because the ball is sitting stationary on the ground, and you as the person have to try and move it. So there's all these thoughts that run through your head, don't miss it right in the water, or don't lead it left out of bounds, or don't duff it. But from a mental perspective, I'm quite bad with the mental side. So that's why I never turned professional to go and play on tour. I'm a social golfer. I really love going out and playing golf with people and enjoy the day with them and try and make them play better. But yeah, from a psychological perspective, there's so much happening within that space, and you've got to be so good at it if you want to play at the highest level. You've got to shut off all the noise that goes in around you, and what people say, and what you think. But it's all about process. If you've just got a good process, a good pre-shot routine, you're always going to be successful if you do that. So if you want to play high level, I definitely suggest that you go and search for somebody that can help you with that, because it does definitely help.
I mean, Dietrich, as you elaborate that you've been around the golfing environment for at least two decades, and then
Yes.
you just assumed one of the big roles in the golfing fraternity. I mean, not to go into details to it, for us as the amateur golfers, social golfers, and probably even from the people who are coming into your program, what are the things, just a few things that maybe we need to look out for from your direction, and then also from this position that you would probably like to see that can even attract young people, young players, and even the players of color and all that?
Yeah, look, I mean, we've done lots of good work also with the previous CEO that was in place. There's been a lot of work done in terms of diversity and inclusion that we have within the industry. So there's our base of ladies, our base of races, either being black, colored, Indian. That base has definitely grown, and there's a lot of work that goes into it from us. We as I said earlier on, we're very inclusive. So we want people to join the program. But unfortunately, it's like any program that you have to have some sort of criteria to allow people into that space. The PGA worldwide, there's only 60,000 PGA members. If you look at it, that's such a small niche membership base around the world that really do touch so much in terms of a global fraternity. I mean, so I think from our side, we just want to make sure that we grow the game of golf through our members. We support our members, and we would love to get more and more young people to join the PGA to experience what I've experienced from the game. I mean, the game has given me so much, not just from a from a growth perspective, but also just from a relationship perspective. It's such a wonderful game. And, I think if I talk to people that want to do the PGA membership course, they must definitely look for us. But I think if you're looking just from an amateur side that wants to play better golf or understand better golf, I mean, there's no better person to go and speak to other than a PGA professional at a golf club or a golf facility. These guys and ladies are so passionate about what they do, and hopefully we can rub that off onto the younger generation or just the amateurs that's out there to be able just to play better golf and enjoy it more, because that's ultimately what we want to do, is get people to enjoy it.
Yeah. I mean, Dietrich, when we see or look at golf and how people really got introduced into the golf environment, sometimes people come to golf not really by the PGA program. So I have friends who play golf. They will invite me and someone, and then the next time I invite a friend of mine. So, and then now I'm not a professional coach or a professional from a PGA, but I've introduced myself, my friend, to golf. But how important are the rules of golf in that part? Because, I mean, if I've been introduced by someone, then I introduce another person, I might have a lot of bending on the rules of golf. But how important are the rules of golf for amateurs, especially the ones who are introducing their friends, who are introducing their families, who won't necessarily go through the PGA coaching system?
Yeah, I mean, the rules are very important. I'm not too sure if you're talking about the rules of golf as in, from the RNA side, or if you're talking more from an etiquette perspective, but both are equally important.
Yeah, so no, I was just saying about the rules from RNA.
Okay.
For example, is there a role that the PGA is playing to really get the people who are just starting to play golf to understand the rules and the etiquettes?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the PGA is not the custodian of the rules of golf, so we just play our part to educate people of the rules of golf. I mean, Golf RSA is the custodian of it in South Africa, and the RNA obviously support them. But I mean, the rules of golf is incredibly important. I mean, you've got to have a set of rules that you play any sport by. I think if you go out with your friend on a Friday afternoon and you're just playing a 9 holes, I think you can be a little bit more lenient on the rules. But unfortunately, when you do play in club competitions or competitions with your friends or competitions in a golf day, etc., the rules of golf is incredibly important, because unfortunately, golf is you've got to kind of look after yourself. You manage yourself when you're out there. There's no rules official that walk along with you every single time you play. So you've got to be honest. And I mean, that's the beauty about golf. The beauty about golf, I've always said, is, it teaches you so much more than just golf. It teaches you to be punctual. It teaches you to be respectful, honest. There's so many values that you get from golf that you don't get from any other sport. And that's why I love golf, not necessarily about golf, but because all the peripheral stuff that come with it.
No, thank you for that, Dietrich. So I just want to get a little bit more controversial question, just to get the CEO insider.
Yes.
How does commercial success of the game balance with its integrity? Is there ever a conflict between tradition and business growth around golf?
I mean, if there weren't sponsors and partners within golf, there wouldn't be golf. I mean, there's a lot of people that play a huge part, either being with us and our partners, that plays a massive role in what we do, to travel around the country, to support our members, to be able to get the message out and grow the game of golf, but also to all the other bodies within South Africa. So corporate South Africa is hugely important, but it's, it's like anything. You've just got to be when you have those partners, you've got to treat them with respect, because a lot of them have, are also passionate about golf. I mean, there's so many people that are passionate about golf within the golfing fraternity that love just supporting either us or any other of the bodies within South Africa. So, it's I think it's crucial. It's just the way you manage it within your business as an entity.
Hazel said the traditional and the controversial around this, but with my perception, so what I've realized is that traditionally, if we look at the corporates that have a tradition of golf,
Yes.
so oftentimes now, based on the empowerment, women are literally in big corporates holding key positions. For example, the marketing, you find that the marketing executive in a particular company doesn't necessarily play golf. When they look at the golf, they see golf as an environment where people who play golf are rich, so they don't have to put their CSI projects around golf. But when you look at a lot of social golfers, they play golf for social cohesion, so they raise money to put that part. So in your perspective, what is it that you think we need to do to really educate the people to get golf closer to the people? I mean, from our side, there's a media that is driving the growth of the game. There's only enough that we can do. But in your perspective, what do you think we should probably do to really engage the people who might not necessarily know anything about golf, but they will be sitting on those budgets to say, where, I mean, they support different types of sports, they support education, but when it comes to their view around golf, they say, well, why should we support the golf? Because people who are playing golf already have money, but they don't really see the work that the golfers are doing behind it. Social golfers, golf itself, where they go there, do the charity work, and then contribute for social cohesion.
Yeah, I mean, social cohesion is obviously very important, and I think it's not for us to tell corporates where they need to spend their money, but if the only thing that I can say to corporates is, if you want to get people to understand golf, you've actually got to come and play the game before you actually have to sort of have an opinion about it, because it really is such a great game. Everybody loves it. It sounds intimidating, and it looks like it's rich people that play the sport, but essentially it's not. I mean, there's such a wide variety of golf facilities within South Africa that can cater to anybody within any range of economic sphere. So for me, it's always difficult to get corporates to come together to some sort of main cause, but I think a lot of them also have their own interests. But the only thing that I can say to corporate South Africa is that, if you want to spend an afternoon out with your staff in the office, there's no better way just to bring them down to a golf course, search and look for the nearest PGA professional close to you, and let them do a clinic for whomever is there. If it's a clinic for 10 people or 15 people, put them down, tell them a little bit about golf, the rules. It's not as intimidating as people think, but yeah, it is challenging. I think we're also in a challenging economic environment, and people are looking at spending their money correctly according to what they need to spend it to. So, they're also looking at different sort of return on investments, but sometimes the return on investments also just creating something at a place for people. The golf club is a community. And if you can help that community to thrive, it also helps your brand at the end of the day.
No, thank you for that, Dietrich. So, I mean, we come into our conclusion of the show. But I just want to get this. As a CEO of the PGA, you play a major role in shaping golf's future. What legacy do you hope to leave behind in the game?
Yeah, I mean, Sipho, legacy is such a big word. I'm not really, I'm not really into those leaving legacies behind. I think if you do what you need to do, you leave a footprint behind for somebody else to take over and move on. I don't think there's a specific legacy that I'm searching to do. I mean, we, as the PGA and the body of professionals within South Africa, we're just looking to grow the game of golf and let people enjoy the game of golf. So I think if we can do that as an association, and I can be a little bit of a part of that, I mean, that would be great. So I'm not big into leaving legacies behind. It's I know a lot of people want to do that, but it's not something I personally want to do. If it comes with the territory after I've left, that's great, but it's not something that I'm striving towards. I'm striving towards making our members understand that we grow the game of golf through, getting the amateurs to play better golf, them joining golf clubs, and then letting the whole community thrive. I mean, that's at the end of the day what we want. So I don't know if that answered your question, but yeah, that's ultimately what I think I would want to do when I leave here one day.
No, definitely. I mean, thank you for that insight. I mean, I know that you're a very busy individual to really make sure that our game grows. So,
Yes.
any advice would you like to leave with our audience, the young players out there, the amateurs, beginners, and those that wish to start playing the game and all those things? So, just the fun facts around the game.
I mean, I don't think there's too much to say. I mean, all I'm going to say to everybody that's to join, if you want to join a journey to become part of the golfing community in terms of getting people to play better golf, so become a PGA professional, you're more welcome to go to our website and go and have a look at the educational side of things, which is www.pga.co.za. And if you want to start a journey on that direction, we would love to have you. Please engage with us. But then just from another side, from the beginner that doesn't play, even just a normal amateur, I mean, I invite you, go down to your local golf facility, look for your nearest PGA professional, have a chat to them, get them to take you out and, get a little bit of practice and see what golf is all about. They will give you the best advice. And that's kind of the only advice I can give people. I mean, they have to go look for your nearest PGA professional and just go and visit them.
Dietrich, thank you very much for your time. Ladies and gentlemen, today we had Dietrich, who is the new CEO of PGA. This is the man who is going to make sure and help us understand a bit more of golf. Dietrich, thank you so much for the work that you guys are doing at the PGA. Please keep on doing the good work so that we can grow the game to get more amateurs, to get more players, and getting more members to grow the sport that we love.
Perfect. Thanks, Sipho. Thanks for having us, and we hope to see you on the fairways at some point, eh?
No, definitely. No, thank you very much for your
Thank
time.
you, everyone. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.